a lot of what we're doing today is around providing for the needs of young people, or said another way, adapting to their needs, right? So you might have young people that you work with, like, I don't know how many you guys you work with in any given week, but let's say you're working with 10. 8 of them, the way you work with them, whatever methods you use, absolutely work, there's no problem. Then you have a couple of them that really need something different in the way you work with them. Like there's a different way you gotta work with them. They don't respond in the way your other students respond. There's like something, right? That's when you have to adapt to a need. And part of the way you distinguish that is the way you start to listen for or look for what's behind their behavior, right? And so one of the things I was sharing with Shola is like, when we talk about adapting to needs, it's like even adapting to sensory needs. Some young people are visual, some are auditory, some are kinesthetic, right? And they all need something different, but you won't be able to discover that until you listen for kind of like all that stuff that's in the background and being present to it. And I imagine that you probably have discovered that in some of your young people, and some you still might struggle with. So on this table is a little bit of everything, right? And this is something also for you to discover. What kind of learner are you? What do you need to function? What do you need to move? So I often do this exercise with groups such as yourselves, so people could start to see where they fall for themselves and be able to start to realize what there is to provide to other young people. So the thing to start to deal with is like for yourself as a provider to young people and what young people need. So it may not be bubbles, because like not for nothing, like young people with bubbles, it could go a bad way. But what would be the alternative? You know, something that in the moments that they're sitting with you and you're having a session, coloring might work, because the whole thing about the coloring is that it keeps their focus off the question, and then suddenly they're in a conversation with you, but they're focused on the coloring. It's difficult sometimes for them to straight on answer questions as adults, because they haven't yet developed the kind of tools that we have as adults have developed, right? So as an adult, you have developed the ability to be able to be in a conversation with somebody without needing anything else to be in that conversation. Young people aren't the same way. They need something else that pulls their focus while at the same time allowing for them to be in a conversation with you. So wherever you might be finding yourself struggling with some of your young people where they don't want to talk or anything that happens with them, you might want to use some of these tools, because it just allows for them to get freed up. And now they're no longer focused on the question. They actually answer a whole lot more freely because their focus is someplace else, allowing their energy and attention to be there, but at the same time be able to be with you.